July 25, 8 employees went to BRHMC. August 15, 9 employees went to BMC for bench marking. Not to be confused with vandalism committed on a bench, we went to these two hospitals to A. See what we can learn from them. B. Identify our best practices, which will coincidentally be part of our presentation in the upcoming Malasakit Center consultative meeting this September 3 in Albay. And C. Gusto kong gumala. Just a quick disclaimer, this video is not intended to kick other hospitals down or to elevate ourselves over others. This was done in good faith and bad humor so that us 3 hospitals may learn from each other. Since this discusses 2 days worth of content, I am sorry for burning your first hour of this week. Hindi naman siguro abot ng 1 hour. With that out of the way, here are our best practices, followed by practices that 2 hospitals did better. Best practice 1. Abnormal attention to detail. On the topic of documentation and filing, storage-wise, we seem to be on the clear. Personally, I've worked in hospitals where the stacks of papers are taller than me, which isn't a lot because I'm only 5'5". Our files are chronologically and alphabetically arranged in steel cabinets, so we observe proper filing. This was the case even before we started working this April, so I take no credit from that. Okay, I take credit for the warning label. Processing-wise, we seem to be advanced because we try to have robotic levels of accuracy. If billing section's record says it's 100.90 pesos and I mistyped 100.21 pesos, the proper filing that I mentioned a minute ago, plus my fellow robots in the MAIFIP team will find that out and fix that 0.69 pesos variance. The more data goes through the processing of people, the more the probability of human error increases. More on this later. Through constant adjusting, hard work, and perseverance, we have been able to catch up with months of backlogs that we were tasked to tackle 4 months ago. And now, it's been 2 months since we started reporting to DOH on time, with a caveat that I will discuss later. A minor difference between our reports and BMC's is that our reports are in proper capitalization and BMC's is bold. Best practice 2. The blinding light of innovation. In the past, when social workers do an interview, we have to Number 1. Sift through our old-ass homies to check if the patient has logged in. Number 2. Sift through this folder of 17,083 files and counting. Number 3. Manually set the date and time of the interview. Number 4. Manually change the social worker and supervisor at the bottom. Number 5. Deal with some clients who have attitude. But now, through the efforts of the genius Sir Boy, man, get these things out of the way. Wait. Edit back number 5. Okay. We now have a module that shaves off a lot of that hassle. Not to say that other hospitals aren't like this, but the IT, billing, and MSS working closely helps establish synchronicity and a more optimized delivery of service, which is excellence. Also, through the help of our web-based version of Homies, we can easily pull data and slap them onto our Excel sheets to reduce risk of entering wrong information and to also reduce the tedium of encoding 4,000 patient entries. We are leaning more towards the power of technology, a digital paperless dream, so that I may no longer let another patient skip logging into the triage. So I may no longer misinput a male newborn as the live-in partner of a 56-year-old man. So that a dialysis patient SOA that should be in our file cabinet doesn't end up as his toilet paper in his Big's visit. So that I may no longer mistype San Andres to San Andres. Best Practice 3. Behind closed doors? Question mark. Let's get this thing out of the way. Maifip can be used for political purposes. Okay. We're all adults here. We're not saying what's right or wrong, but let's narrate this best practice. Patient Manaog Jane Angela presents to the Malasakit OPD this charge slip that is like 20,000 pesos worth of CT scan. She then tells the social worker, GL po from John Angelo Online Gamer Party List. We check if we have funds from this, but there isn't any. But since we cater anyone, regardless of who they're voting for or whatever connections they have, the patient proceeded to social work assessment as per usual, and she received medical assistance. As long as we are following the rules and guidelines, we are all good. Unlike these people. Motorcycles must be parked on the other side of the road. Wow. On another note, we all know this situation. We are employees. We are expected to be working from 8 to 5. Let's say we need an animal bite vaccine because we got bitten by the neighbor's spouse. I mean dog, the neighbor's dog. If we wait for your schedule to clear and for the line of 150 patients to be processed first, then you're probably afraid of water and light by now. You're probably salivating, not because of the neighbor's spouse, but because you're probably on your way to San Pedro. Cabusao, where BRGH GMC is located. That is why there is a dedicated window in the MSS office where you will be entertained by an attractive woman. Or if she's not available, me. Where your medical assistance concerns will be addressed. No more being guilty because you cut the line and the 40 clients that are still waiting are looking at you seductively. Also, we are disseminating a Google Forms link so that you may be able to declare who your dependents are. Because another innovation that we are working on is the yellow card. Best practice 4.
Waved it off.
The scorecards. This is supposed to be filled out by the Malasakit program office, but since they haven't done the evaluation for us yet, I will suffice. Number of functional computer units in the facility dedicated to MAIS. We have at least 2 computers for that. Computer specifications. Our PCs are for gaming, bruh. Number of functional printers dedicated for MAIS. I guess 1 point is max. With internet connection in the facility. 2 points, internet speed. Our internet speed is way more than 2 Mbps. Letter C, firewall appliance. I'm actually not sure what that is, so let's score it 0 for now. Local area network. Yep. 1 point, I guess. Malasakit Center Coordinator. Yep. MAIP Coordinator. Yep. I don't know what an ICT focal person is. System user. Every single one in our MAIFIP team has access to MAIS. We have access to MAIS, but we don't have access to Ubi. Gynae. Now we arrive at the part of the video where we discuss our practices that other hospitals seem to do better by a long shot, which we will call Yoko na. Yoko na 1. If you look at our statements of account, the discount column's breakdown is empty. In BMC, they use an updated version of Homies where their billing program does it for them. Since we're letting ours die, we don't have that luxury. This is because when you program Excel to calculate the remaining amount after applying discounts, we come across floating points or rounding errors where even if we set the precision as this. Since we are running towards the blinding light of innovation, we are going to be able to address this manual tedium in the future. Yoko na 2. Remember the caveat I said earlier? BMC has implemented some 300 IQ pro gamer strats to ensure that their reports are timely and finalized before the DOH deadline of every 10th of the month. Since they do not have problems with workforce numbers, they have a representative in every office concerned with MAIFIP. This SOWA needs to be rebuilt. Their billing section representative will handle that ASAP. These outpatient charge slips from the OPD are missing. Their OPD representative will raid these offices ASAP. This client wants medical assistance but doesn't want to comply. Their mixed martial arts representative, and they make sure that everything from the past week has already been ironed out by next Tuesday. Every third of the month, they make sure that every single entry is checked. And if other offices have findings after the report has already been passed to DOH, it's already final. Our approach, however, is to be open for future corrections because we are expecting to accommodate errors. We currently lack personnel, so we're gonna have a problem if another office concern or task needs addressing, such as preparing for an audit, or if I have to make a video presentation to cover my fear of public speaking, or if someone is unable to work because of the name Yoko na number 3. And that is the most formal and informative output that I can create for this very serious Monday, Tuesday update. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to conduct this 2-day benchmarking activity. It has helped us not only to recognize our areas for improvement, but also to find the areas where we uphold our excellence. That concludes our presentation. Thank you for listening.